Right.
This is a thing now.
So
we're on?
we're on right now.
Oh!
So this is Monty. He wasn't here last time, but he's also our DJ. This is here.
The legendary.
The legendary.
There's nothing legendary about me.
LeDarius.
What?
Gypsy.
Phenomenal choreographer.
Street dancer.
Street
performer.
gypsy. Yes.
Everything.
Street gypsy.
All
I need it
right.
on a jacket.
And I am Amelia Mars, here with.
Hi, my name is Virginia, the owner, founder, creator of the Hazar Artist Collective.
Yep. And this is MCC's Talk to My City.
Period.
My city. So, what we got today, who we have today is a very special person, like I already said before. This is Gypsy, aka LeDarius. We just did on his phone.
Are you?
I'm putting y'all on Instagram.
Okay.
Give me y'all.
I mean, did you want to go live? We can set it up on the live. if you
Oh,
like.
I've never gone live before.
We're going live?
Would you like to go live? We can set it up for the live.
That's weird.
Okay, we don't have to.
That is so weird.
Well, either way, we got Instagram popping over here.
Hi, Instagram.
And we got, of course, we're going to be recording on SoundCloud. And we got, we're going to be posting on, Marco Comics page on Facebook. Check that out as well. Everything will be in the description below, if possible. If it's possible. I don't know what I'm saying.
Is this the thing where you point and then a subscribe button?
I can do
pops up?
that. If
That'd be so cool. Point and do it.
Okay. That's all for the ending. I got all that later.
Okay.
All right. So, your performance yesterday at the Cultural Arts Center. How'd you feel about it?
I really loved it. I love the process more than actually, I love the process and the performance. Usually, I just love the process of certain things because, performances don't usually go the way you want them to, just because of circumstances.
Right.
And with this,
Sorry, I felt like I got a little closer.
with this, every moment about it, including the performance, just felt really good. And it made me more excited about dancing in general.
It's always dope. Just see everything in your mind, what you create, and the fact that other people actually mimic and do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
Especially in your crazy
it's
mind.
Interesting.
As being one of the dancers there, trying to move like this dude, I was like, because people when they move, they usually move either their shoulders first or some other part, but he moves everything from the hips up and down is from the hips. Everything's from the hips. So everybody me and being a b-boy, I don't move like that that much.
One of my dreams is to dance with LeDarius. I'm such a fan. Yeah.
It's definitely gonna be a challenge, but it's dope.
The funny part about dancing with me is everyone thinks it's one-sided. They think just because I can do this one thing and it's been this one thing for I guess you say a few months, that's what I do. And people forget that there's so many more avenues and so many more textures and styles that I've trained in and kind of learned over the years to where it's okay, when this happens, oh, okay.
Right, don't call it a comeback.
I wasn't expecting for you to put that.
I first met you in 2016. So when I first saw you then, and following you, of course, on Instagram, and then us just socially being friends that way, and then, of course, every so often running into each other, I've been able to, kind of from the back end, watch this guy just develop into this, you went from just being, just a dancer. Everybody knew, LeDarius could dance. You would pop up in those parties and, shut it down. Or if there was something at the artist block, you'd come in, just shut it down. And so everybody got used, I think, to you being in the one area, and then boom, you jump out, full choreo, full motion, full emotion. I think for me, just watching, I can definitely see the dedication, the execution, but also too the emotion behind it is so much more, I feel, mature. I don't feel like it's different. I just feel like it's a little more of a mature perspective from where you were before, and it's kind of cool to watch that, just like I said, kind of being off to the side and kind of just being able to watch you consistently stay with your craft, even moments when you weren't really, a lot of people don't know, you weren't really performing as much, you were just working on your craft, just still seeing how all that now has gotten you to where you are right now.
He was battling, taking bodies. That's what he was doing.
Right. Taking names.
Yeah, taking names. That's what he was doing. Yeah, you know where it was.
How do you feel right now?
I'm sleepy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
long
sleepy.
night.
But we had a long night, and it was beautiful. It was fun. It was just full of nothing but love for each other.
I miss going to a kickback It's after this
It
session.
was a kickback.
It was a kickback.
Like,
The being actually a kickback being like with nothing but dancers and everybody that you know you can vibe with is rare. Usually I go kickbacks. I'm like, all right, I ain't going on this side because I don't know about this dude. I don't really know you. So I talked to Monty all night. Then
everybody was
But
vibing. with
everybody,
each
I
other.
can go anywhere around the house, and I was fine. I was perfect. I felt 100% good.
Monty, did you get the invite to the kickback?
I don't know what's going on.
It was for the performance.
It was
There was a
class
performance yesterday at the
I'm getting
Culture
filled.
Arts
This is
Center.
all new to me. I'm just like, oh, wow, tell me more.
He's like, I don't know what to do about this. Okay,
What do I do with my hands?
Right. No, there was a performance yesterday at the Culture Arts Center,
Yeah.
and it was huge. Actually, getting into the Culture Arts Center is not as competitive as it used to be, but it's still a big deal for local artists of the city. They typically do honor local artists, but seeing the diversity, I think, is not something that you would really experience going in there, because like Greensboro is still accepting a lot of what has already really been established here, which is like our diverse backgrounds platform. So you'll see a lot of ethnic cultures now, more so than just like having one installation, or one month when they're acknowledged. Now they're actually rotating through a lot of more chocolate ballerinas. I'm super excited to see coming out of the Culture Arts Center, because before it wasn't always like that. But there was this beautiful performance, and it was geared towards dance. And I'll let them kind of explain a little more what the purpose was. But Emilio is a dancer, and he actually performed with LeDarius, so that's like
It's like so
iconic.
I saw the clips of it on Instagram. You just showed me that. That was really neat. Like,
So the
I gotta get on the floor.
description of the performance. What was it about?
The name of the performance was Human Nature, and it was it was for a residency program at the Cultural Arts Center's dance project. And what they do, they allow artists to come in and basically create whatever they feel for about as long as a school semester. So about 4 to 5 months. I spent like the first 2 months just just getting to know myself a little bit better as like a choreographer, and like just really planning out everything. I even did like little videos of like me just talking about the vision that I had for the piece. So it like this whole process allowed me to just like really explore my process as a choreographer. So back to the name of the piece was Human Nature, and it was on societal views on normalcy, basically on how society views what should be normal, and what's right, what's wrong, all of that beautiful stuff. And what it was about these magical creatures called Magicians. I don't know. Every time I hear that, I hear you say that, do that thing.
I'm not gonna do it.
It's about these magical creatures called Magicians. They're half animal and half human. They looked human, but they had like animal features. Yeah. And like their culture was about just living and enjoying each other's like beauty in every shape, every size, every feather, every fur, whatever they had. They enjoyed each other's. They enjoyed each other. So they lived in a peaceful society, and humans discovered them. They was like, okay, we don't understand this. This could become a potential danger, so we're just gonna go ahead and just destroy it, get rid of it, just wipe it off the face of the earth, because we don't like it. I've realized, like over the year, like in history, human society, no matter like what race, what culture. That's what they do.
Anything to deem unfit,
They whatever's not normal to them, they want to destroy it. Period. Point blank. They don't want to help it. They just want to completely obliterate it and just let what they believe in stick. And it's like, what's the point of taking a life for something that you don't agree about? Right. Like, it's not like they're coming for your life. It's not like they're coming to kill you or anything like that. They're just being who they are. So, boom. They send hunters to basically destroy their civilization, and the hunters, as they're destroying the civilization, they're like, "This is wrong. This is we shouldn't be doing this." So they give the Magicians like an ultimatum: either stay in your homeland and die, or come to the human world and blend in to survive. So of course, being a peaceful race, they decided to just go ahead and blend in and just go with the flow of everything. So fast forward to like, I'm gonna say, I keep saying 1,000 years, but if we're gonna be practical, just say 100 years in the future. And like part of the scene takes place in like a downtown setting with the certain magicians like blended in with the humans, and it's like you have the humans wearing all black, the magicians wearing black and white.
I look good that day.
I hate you so much. And it's just like you can see the difference between the two, but you can see the magicians and them wanting to break out and be themselves again. So moving forward in the show, you have another scene where they're just remembering being back home. And for me, the inspiration for that scene was a cookout. Just getting together like a family reunion. Getting together, like remembering those that we lost and celebrating those that we have, celebrating the new people that came into this world. And for me, like being an African American, it's big in our culture, especially like being an African American from like urban culture. It's very huge in our culture. So it's like, I don't know. I just felt like I gotta put it on stage some type of way. So I did that with that scene, and directly after that, I did a scene where it was more contemporary, but it was more so the regret that the magicians felt for making the decision to
assimilate almost.
Yes, yeah. And after that, it was just like a battle scene between humans and magicians, because the magicians was like, we want to dip. We try to go home. We try to be us and do us. And humans was like, no, we can't let you leave. We done taught you how to destroy us, basically. So, am I allowed to cuss on this?
Yeah, it's ours.
Basically, it's like, we fucked up. They were basically like, we fucked up.
Yeah.
So now we need you to stay to save us from our own fuck up.
Player, is that you?
Yeah, that's.
Is that you, player?
That's delinquent.
Look at the way you do. How you doing?
Don't give him compliments. You don't give him compliments.
We got our fourth member coming on in, ladies and gentlemen. Pull up a stool.
Why you look so sad?
What's wrong? Who killed your dog?
You tired? Oh, you did just come
All
from
that late night stripping.
You did just come from rehearsal.
Yeah, I just came from rehearsal.
He was also in the show, you guys.
Yes, how was it?
I was the main attraction.
You know? Lord, we have Beyonce.
So I had the
He was wearing the Kung Lao hat.
So I made the mistake of putting him in the middle.
Oh, God.
This dude, okay, so what's funny about having this guy is the focal point of the whole performance, that he was over there flirting with whoever was across the table from him.
Per usual.
And we're all just listening to, like, the conversation. And I'm like, yo, are these actually, like, having real conversations? Like, so, like, you gonna buy for this drink? Like, help y'all. Like, all right.
Look here.
It was fun. That was fun.
I would need you not
You
to
look
be
good.
trying to flirt my sister.
You look refreshed. Your skin looks light.
I know, you do a scrub bath,
You
not a
look
regular
stoic.
bath. You look good
You got some of that tray butter on your skin.
What you
don't
call
You
it? Like
look
your
less
beard.
dark skin.
Yeah, less dark skin.
Yeah.
It's, you know, in the winter seasons,
Yeah,
you get
like
2 shades
a
lighter.
metallic brown.
Metallic brown.
Metallic brown.
This is from an artist aspect right now.
Metallic
You
brown.
got little highlights in your beard too. Look, what is that? Is that Vaseline?
Who you trying to get cute for?
Right.
Nobody else. I'm single out here.
But the music choice, the performance piece, everything went together. I think the only hard part was actually during the performance was trying to figure out where everyone was going to be at.
Well, that for
Because
me,
we had to change the
yeah,
seating.
no, the seating, that part, because at first, they didn't understand that I needed them to be in like rows and columns.
Yeah,
everybody had like just formed a runway.
Yeah.
Like a really tight runway. And it was just like, I can't use this.
Right.
So I was like instructing them, like it went pretty well, like because after a while it's like, oh, okay, like we need to scrunch up and be in one section, and then they saw like the scenery started coming
Some people
together.
were like, I ain't trying to
like,
again.
okay, I see this. And after like the afterwards, everyone, I got really good feedback. People were like, we need to take this on the road, and all the while in my head, I'm like, yes, I fully agree, but this is just a test of me for what I really want to do.
I feel like you actually could.
Well, I can always revise it easily, but make it like work on it more.
Last night was like a trailer for something. It was like a trailer.
Did you have like video? Did you record any of like on like formal camera, or were you just?
I was recording. I was just.
He used to be in the art.
So it's like you had to be there.
It
was one of those you have
I'm
to be there.
super excited. As you know, we love doing exclusive events. So hopefully, if you do like comprise something magical, that you'll come see us about it, because we love doing exclusives. Definitely with us now being in the illustrious Hard Press Studio. I mean, we can really make it what you want, really.
Right. And what I thought was pretty dope, because when you were just explaining me like the whole concept, the whole storyline, and everything like that, I was like, yo, would you mind if I add like his story to the comic I got coming up too?
Oh,
so I was thinking about putting those characters like he has into the storyline with that too, so they can all mesh.
Isn't LeDarius already a character in your comic book?
He's going to make him character.
Oh, you don't know? Did you know? Has he told you about it?
Nobody knows.
I was hoping.
Nobody knows to actually show them, but now I'm gonna have his character be a Madison character.
I'm a man dog.
I'm sorry.
You already know
I'm
what
sorry,
I am.
Amelia.
I was a peacock in the crane.
Yeah,
so
so
as long as you make me look
I was a
magical,
man
I'm
dog.
good. A what?
A man dog.
No, you. It's funny when you posted that picture. I saw someone say that you look like you was about to offer a red pill or a blue pill.
The way you have haters.
Someone had like
Right, tell him.
You
someone
always
had
gotta
a
have haters, so that
Morpheus.
means cool.
Look, somebody had a Morpheus gift on there, and it was like,
Not the red pill or the blue pill.
let him shine, y'all.
Yeah.
You know.
Overall, it was dope. We all had fun, and everything was great that day.
Last night.
I feel like last night was great.
Afterwards, it's like that. That's another story.
Like we were talking about earlier, it's like it was a nice collab of artists, dancers, just getting together and having a good time, good vibes and everything. All right.
I want to make her
Monty talks a bit about the 4 aspects of like hip hop when it comes to like dance, DJ, MC.
4 elements of hip hop.
Yeah.
Graffiti.
I said dance, DJ, MC,
Graffiti.
graffiti.
Art.
Duh.
So do we say pillars or say elements?
Well, I say elements,
Elements.
pillars. I mean, elements. I think.
I feel like they're the
they
foundation
elevate
elements,
something
financial.
Well, they call it the pillars. They technically say the 5 pillars of hip hop. But technically, of course, there's 4. But it's like the 5th pillar that I keep forgetting about. Because of course, you said there's MC, DJ, breaking, and graffiti. And I forgot what the 5th one was. But there is like a 5th element in there.
Let's say love. Let's say the love of the passion.
I'm sure. Someone,
not it.
I'm sure someone on Instagram right now.
Someone on
Someone's
Instagram
probably
is like,
answering it.
Probably
and I
answering
can't
it right now.
record
You're
it.
not getting to see it.
We'll see it in the
You already
court.
know who's it gonna be.
Who?
Where you gonna see it?
Tyler.
Yeah, I mean,
Tyler.
If he's
it's
watching,
given.
Tyler would
I
definitely
know
post it
shit.
up there.
Please do.
He definitely would.
Well, I mentioned that only because one of the things that we incorporate into our events, into everything that we do, is just the diversity. And as artists, all of us embodying at least 2 of those 4 to 5 elements, it's very important for us to keep that in the forefront. So when we talk about like future collaborations, partnerships, we don't find ourselves wanting to work with people who don't have that same energy. So like to see that you're diversifying your platform by getting out there, the Culture Arts Center, that's huge. That's another avenue, you know what I mean? Like for exposure in a positive light. We get a lot of negative exposure just from being from the city. So it's like, seeing that, I was really actually about to ask Monty, like, when it comes to like hearing like LeDarius's experience, how does that make you feel like as a DJ? Like, because I know you have in your Heart of Hearts an event that you want to do where you're inviting like producers out. You're also working on a beautiful mixtape currently, or a mix. That's going to include a lot of hidden gems. Can we talk about it? Or are you still working on it?
Still working on it.
Okay, so we won't talk exclusively about it, but it's going to include a lot of hidden gems. Even some surprises that you wouldn't even expect. So, a lot of local artists out there. If you really
2020
are trying to get yourself out there, DJ Monty is the man to follow up with. DJ Lincoln as well, crushing it in the streets. If you're a local artist and you want your stuff played, and you don't want to go through all the hustle and bustle of people trying to rip you off. These are 2 phenomenal artists who do events all up and down the East Coast who would not mind, as long as your music is not trash, playing it at a party.
We definitely will listen to it first.
We will listen to it first, and it will be reviewed.
Yes.
Scrutiny.
Yeah.
With scrutiny. No, I'm just kidding. We're not those people. We gotta zoom in on that face. Can we zoom in on that?
But to add to what you were saying, because we kind of were talking a little bit about music and talking about you know, the dancers, the DJ, and you know, we had a conversation about that you guys are dancers. You're a DJ now too, and I originally danced when I was younger, Latin, hip hop, did all that stuff too.
You can dance really well.
I can.
It's been a minute.
But
you can get the hips going.
But what's really cool in seeing like different people in these communities, like, you know, the Greensboro area, Charlotte, just all around, having the platform in which everyone can kind of mesh together and to showcase that amongst maybe DJs, producers, and everybody kind of having that taste, and it can all kind of be in one vibe. My personal project, and something that kind of we're all working on, in one way or the other, is just bringing those elements of music, hip hop together in one location. A lot of times we see it isolated. We see it isolated with, okay, just rappers or just MCs are here. Right. That's where they go. DJs and MCs end up together. Cool, like that works, right? But where do you, it's hard to end up seeing that and then the breakers. It's a rare thing to see. Together, all three of them, that's a rare thing. But then it's even more rare to get the graffiti artists. You know, but what if there was a combined effort in which we could bring all those things together and you just see just art at like its maximum potential. Like that is just high potency art right there. And that's something that you don't really see as much.
Well, we attempted to try to do that. What was it, a year ago?
Yeah.
Before Elements of Hip Hop, we got like 3 of them.
Yeah. Then when we tried to do that, it was like 3 other events dropped right on top of each other, and I was like, where did these events come from?
That's why in the future, we're not telling you guys shit. So if you want to know something,
it happens. LeDarius knows.
Right?
Like, we'll tell somebody, we'll tell him, oh, we about to have an event 3 months from now, and we'll be the first ones to post it. And then prior to that week, it's like boom, boom, boom. Drop. I was like,
and that's fine.
Did y'all not know that I posted this a long time ago?
We talked about clout chasing, and we've seen a lot of things that we have curated come to pass in so many different ways that weren't just ours, like, you know, because other ideas can happen. That's, guys, so you know, the whole purpose of what we do is to inspire our peers. So it's really flattery. It's not like we upset. I did have a venting moment once, but that's a different situation. You know, it's different when you're bringing people into the circle and that, you know, something like that happens, but then when you have outside people who just see what you're doing and then they're inspired, that to me, I don't think is necessarily a slap in the face versus, you know, like if I'm with Monty and then Monty literally takes something that we're talking about right now and then does it on his own type thing. So, you know.
I can't do that. Just kidding.
You gonna call me anyways. But, you know, it's just one of those things where when you talk about being an artist, first of all, we are very sensitive about all of our shit. And to see the work, like you said, the production to the execution, that's a lot. You know, if you're a producer, from when you're stitching those beats together from scratch, that's a lot. Then have someone come in and say, well, I co-wrote this with you. No, you didn't. First of all, you copied and pasted. And second of all, what we're trying to promote here is a diverse platform for inner city communities through our arts talent. So yes, you're doing yourself an injustice if you don't see something here today and say, oh my God, I'm inspired, and now I need to go put a production together. What we're wanting is that, but I think the integrity behind it is what the community lacks, and what we provide is substance, which is what separates our collective from a lot of other people. So no, we're not giving away anything else for free. David Banner talked about it about 2 weeks ago in Durham, about why artists are struggling. Primarily it's because of social media. And it's social media which you're watching, social media which you're posting. And a great deal of it is you're watching people who are probably more successful than you, be more successful than you, not understanding how they got the level of success that they got. And then you are successful in your own right, but you're not appreciating your success. So you're looking for validation through your posts from other people. And really what you should be focusing on is curating your craft. Right. So you really don't owe people shit unless they really vibe with you. And those people you'll know because those are people that you'll be able to call and they'll pick up the phone, or they'll at least text you back. And God knows if Monty falls off the face of the earth, he'll get those 1,001 text messages like, are you breathing? Are you alive? Right. But I know without a shadow of a doubt that if it's been longer than 4 to 6 weeks, I'm going to pull up at his house type thing. So it's like, you know, but that's real friends.
Did you say 46 weeks?
No, 4 to 6 weeks. I'm going to pull up at your house.
I was like,
I would be dead by that.
I know. Look, I'm trying to get the spacing. But, you know, just being funny. But that's just from a person I know who works a lot, but also very acclimated, you know. Same with Delinquent. Same with Amelia. Same with myself. Like, 9 times out of 10, if we're going to do somewhere, somebody's going to be late. I don't know who that would be, but someone's gonna be late. It's just one of those things.
I mean, all three of us were here early today.
Yeah. He locked out and everything, and I wasn't. I had to go back.
I had a reason why I was late. So.
We're not going to get into logistics.
We're not gonna get into that.
We're not here to point the finger. All this to say, because it is kind of getting away from the point. The point is that yes, be inspired, but only that real shit's gonna last.
Right.
So
I would say, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
despite people, like you say, despite the copycats,
Yeah.
you can't beat authenticity.
no.
And authenticity will last longer than clout chasing or clout chasers.
Right.
Could you define the clout chase for me? I wasn't here for that last
No,
one.
you
Oh.
got it.
Chasing is basically somebody trying to ride a wave where
Don't even know how to start it.
yeah,
We create the ripple,
Right.
and it builds that wave.
Like, okay,
That's the theology.
the whole, you've seen it, the banana on the wall.
Go,
All right.
go.
What's that?
No.
Go.
We need to talk about that.
Art,
Oh.
Basel.
That's
We need to no.
Art.
We talk about. That's
All right, so-
frustrating.
All
right.
right.
Somebody
Art
sold a
Basel.
piece of art at $120,000.
$20,000.
And it was just a banana duct tape. To
It was just a banana duct taped to the wall. I can't remember
There
the
were
artist.
5 of them that they made. I actually looked
Made
it up.
5 of
There were
those?
5
So they
pieces
duct
that they
taped
sold.
5 bananas.
That was it.
5
and it's been
bananas
called
on
as
the
a
wall.
starving
And
artist.
I can't remember what was the name of the artist that did that, but it sold for $120,000.
You can Google the collection, guys. It's called The Starving Artist. It did sell, one of the pieces did sell for $120,000 at Art Basel the first weekend. The first day.
First day.
The first day that the show was
What
opened.
was the
And like I said, it's called The Starving Artist.
what was the story of
It's-
that banana on the
But
wall?
it's-
So the
don't
concept. No, guys. Okay, hold on.
I don't know.
Calm down, Emilio. It's okay. We're
Because
gonna
I'm
get
an
through it.
artist that actually does things, put elements together.
When I
and
first
they
saw
took
it, I thought
duct
it was a
tape
sculpture,
that
honestly.
costs $5
Until he
and
ate
a
the
banana
banana.
that costs less than $5 and put it on the wall.
This dude said, "I got the money to buy this," and I'm
That's how
Yeah.
people like when you get that much fame or that much clout, you can do anything. You can put shit on a shirt and someone would buy it.
I thought literally that
This
it was a
shit smells-
sculpture. I thought it was like a makeshift banana or something. And then like you watched a live of him talking about it and what it is and explaining the collection. And okay, it's a good storyline because we're all starving artists to some degree. But then he's like, oh yeah, well now that I got it, and then he goes up there and pops it open and eats it.
Eats the banana.
Eats the banana after the guy had already bought it. It was
See,
And then the guy was like, the lady was like, you can't do that. Like, this art piece is performance art. And like, no, it's not. It's the art. What you can't eat art on the wall. It's like, then I think he got fined for it.
Yeah, I would find him too.
Yeah.
You know what,
Someone
that's-
paid
Eat
you
a
for
banana, duct tape to a wall. You got in trouble.
See, I think there's a right way to do art like that and a wrong way. To me, that whole situation was just ridiculous and wrong.
it happens.
But it happened.
What if I put
It happens,
strawberries?
though.
Now here's a right way. You guys familiar with Banksy?
Yeah.
Banksy, he actually booby trapped one of his pieces that went on auction.
And it caught fire.
No,
What?
close enough. He actually built a shredder inside of it.
Oh, that's the one everybody's talking about. With
So when the
shredder.
gavel dropped, it half shredded it, and it sold for more money after that.
I saw that.
It was ridiculous. But
I
see,
knew
that-
I was really looking
I would buy that.
I
I would highly buy
that.
that.
Now the
because-
only reason I could justify the whole banana thing is if somebody was just trashing the whole art scene and the whole art industry and the commercial aspect of
Just
it, where they're
trying to
just
show-
like, you know what, I'm gonna sell this stupid thing for that much money and see who buys it.
And someone
That
did.
makes sense to me. But like the people and the mentality.
You know how many
behind
people
that.
try to get in that, and then you show up with a banana and some tape.
You know, it-
Like,
We
it's
talked
so many
about it on the
people-
last
Yeah.
so
thing. The
many people
tickets
try to
were
get in there.
$1,500
for a
for
seat.
the off scene installation. So that would have been like on the back side of the building. The main scene installation was $2,000 per installation. So the thing is, like, it's been a lifelong dream of mine since I was a little girl to be able to go display at Art Basel.
Right.
That was actually the subject of our last
Yeah.
podcast because Art Basel was that weekend. So
Yeah,
we did it
and
on
Dawn
Wednesday,
was going
Thursday,
there.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday was Art Basel. So literally right before it happened, and then the next day I get this like blown up message because Emilio's cussing in our group chat.
I was
Like, what
like,
happened? And I
what
see
the
it. I'm
fuck?
like,
I seen it before he even said something about it.
Seems like
I said,
everybody was kind of there too. Like the graffiti artists were there too.
But was,
oh yeah, Arc and Owl.
but-
Oh my god, did you see?
Yeah, Abstract Descent. Caveman was supposed to be there too.
Did you see their stuff? Oh my god. So we have some graffiti artist friends that I've met through Monty who introduced us all to them. They're based out of Charlotte, Salisbury area, just going that way. And phenomenal graffiti artists. Like I can't express to you.
Phenomenal.
If you've probably seen some of their murals.
Like,
You've probably seen some of their murals. You don't even know. If you've seen it.
Bagels.
If you've seen the Mac Miller mural, Jex of NC, shout out to Jex, is one of their closest friends, but they do the realism style murals that you've seen pop up all over our city. But yeah, they have this huge display out in Miami, and this is like their third or fourth year.
Yeah, they're
Like they're like so you can imagine. So I know my friends when they're down in Miami, and it's like, okay, now this guy just.
should do a banana.
If I could show you, I don't have my phone on me to show you the work that they do, but I'll tag you in some. But
I'm gonna put my.
it's literally the wall is white, duct tape, banana.
I gotta figure whatever you said duct tape.
You know what though? You should
It
make
was
those
just
shirts
bad.
though.
Like it was just bad.
Make those shirts.
So he made a spoof out of it.
Sell them.
He made a spoof out of it. He recreated the image and then he posted it on his Instagram.
I drew it.
It was better than the.
I drew it, and people say like, "Yo, I would definitely buy that shirt." People in California was like, "I buy that shirt from you as soon as you posted." I was like, "All right, cool."
No,
man.
no joke. The next time, like
You know, Jimmy's printing shirts now.
Yeah,
Jimmy's printing shirts now.
You print shirts now?
You print. Yeah.
He's like more people.
You got the more
In the leather chair.
in the leather chair. So, because I was just joking around with that one. I'm like, man, I'm gonna put on a shirt, and wear it. But I'm actually
Next
do
year,
it.
I'm gonna go there.
By popular demand, people are actually asking for it.
Wait, you're gonna
cut
what?
What's it called?
Whoa.
You could
Ew.
cut it.
We're cutting it
put a
already.
sensor bar and just put duct tape on it. How about that? Just do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you gonna call it.
What if he now high key because of
Almost
the clout
cute.
he's getting off of this? Because that's another thing. He's getting all this notoriety off of something that clearly was a gimmick.
Yeah.
Because it also too, I don't even think people could have realized that he could have like had an investor buy that art installation
It
to
could have
make
been
a
a genius
scene.
move too.
It could have been because I think of artists and I do abstract art, and I know how difficult it is for people to kind of be like, to cause like a roar.
So
uproar.
it's
It could have been a publicity stunt for where because artists get sponsorship in weird ways. Just because it's not how you do it in the music industry, it's not how you really do it in the dance community. You could have a buyer who lives in Timbuktu investing you, sending you checks every so often to do an installation every so often, and you can afford to have somebody come and buy an art work of yours or a piece of art from you, and you do something like that, because now what people are going to do is they're going to remember you. You may not know me, but I don't know who he was until he ate the damn banana. But then they just slandered that poor girl for choking on that cucumber. So for me, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. But at the same time, like she could never work at Walmart. Like it's bad. And she goes to the produce section, people be throwing cucumbers in her face and shit all the time. It's a thing.
Swallow this too.
Right. But like, so when you think about the levels of that, there are levels to that shit. So it's one
It's just
thing
like the
for that.
Kanye West thing.
Yeah.
It's just like he go out there and say something, and then he got an album coming out right behind it. It's
The clout chase.
The similarity.
So
right?
that's clout chase.
Well, in a sense, there's so
Like,
many levels.
well,
It's
that's all
levels
part
to
of that.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the banana thing.
Yeah.
He already formed clout, and now people are making posts. Like somebody put bananas on Air Forces and was walking around with the joints. Someone put bananas on tape, just like a tape of
You
bananas.
can copyright that banana thing.
Right.
And high key now he has a market and a brand. So what people are going to do is build up micro brands
Right.
off of his brands to
It's
But
like
you know,
establish
they have a reference
themselves.
from that.
What's interesting
Under
about
the same
that, though,
influence.
you can take that formula. To me, that's a crappy formula. That whole basis of like creating something like that. I mean, it works for some people, but there's lessons I think to be learned maybe in that too. And several different artists, musicians, whatever the case may be, have been able to build up their quality of art and sell it kind of at a high price. Like Nipsey does something like that too with like his albums and his like mixtapes.
I would say, honestly, I don't really with clout chasing. I'm also not against it because it's a very good marketing scheme. Very good marketing way to market yourself. Because it's like, think about it like this. If you do what you regularly do and it doesn't really get any notice, and then you take that one moment to just do something that's popular, and then it gets you more notice, from there, I feel like from there, that's when you should start doing your own things, so they can see what you have to offer versus just continuously doing
Like
what
Cole.
someone has already created back and forth, and then like even with the
Then you
whole
went back to it. You're right. Yeah.
even with the whole cloud chasing thing, it's like some people might not be cloud chasing; they might just legitimately just enjoy what is being done,
Right.
and they just feel
Was
like
a
expressing
millennials,
themselves.
like a millennial artist.
What you mean? What's wrong with being a millennial?
You're not even in the
artist.
millennium.
I am a millennial.
We're all
Very.
technically millennials.
No, I
What's
was
the-
born in
what's the-
1993. I'm a millennial.
No, we're all technically millennials because Monty and Delinquent, you're 30. Monty, how old are you?
I just turned 30.
Black don't crack, man. I'm telling you, I'm 27. Dang, you look younger than me.
Sorry,
old.
bro.
Hey,
You
girl, I look
know,
younger
it's
than-
one thing when you're baptized
I
in the
look younger
sun.
than you,
It's
too.
kind of catching the heat wave.
You-
You know, melanated.
No, delinquent.
how old do you think I am?
Delinquent was holding on to
Think he is
the.
how old I am.
Well, he just said
You look like you're 18.
Damn.
You look younger.
I didn't know we were the same age. I thought you were always
You
younger
look
than me.
I'm 26.
The thing is, but this whole time I've thought that you were always younger than me. I never, we were the exact same age. What's your birthday?
May 3rd.
April 1st. Shut up. This is how we click. I'm sorry. Censor that out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's me. I just turned 30. I'm sorry.
When you turn 30, Delinquent.
December 7th. I'm Sagittarius.
You were holding on 27 for a long time.
Hey, I'm gonna hold on to looking 27.
Boy, you gonna look like this forever.
So we're millennials. Is that's the
Yeah.
Technically, we
We
are.
are
millennials.
millennials. Yeah.
So we fall within a weird space with a lot of this.
We saw technology be
pretty much
born.
all
Yeah.
all the culture,
Modern technology.
technology, anything brand new. We were still in that genre of all the new stuff.
We just weren't old enough to enjoy
Well,
it.
I just,
Well,
I just,
we weren't old enough to enjoy the start of it.
Right.
Because it's like the people that are after us, like
Screwed.
no people, yeah, they're screwed. no, they're definitely screwed.
because I was gonna say this
No,
too.
no.
Because me and you probably agreed to this. Some of this music is trash.
Some,
Oh, yeah.
some.
But the younger ones are the
Some,
ones making it.
some, like we got
Some.
Slim Guy. Slim
All
Guy,
of
he's
it.
dope. We got Slim Guy. Wait a minute. Slim Guy,
Okay, y'all.
he got dope lyrics.
Only
Hey,
because we just lost Juice WRLD, maybe he rest in peace. And I'm gonna kind of put this out here right now.
you got J. Cole. You still got J.I.D.
Okay, but Jid is not, or JID and J. Cole is not Lil Pump, Tekashi, and whomever the hell is out. Whoever
That's
the
what
hell
I
else
said
is out
some.
here.
Then I said the key word was some.
True, but I don't even think that's fair to even put them in that cap. I mean, as a millennial, if you're looking at all millennials, yes, you're right.
They are a new artist.
They are a new era and they are new artists. But at the same time, when you're looking at
Not J. Cole though.
the quality, well, he's a millennial too, actually.
millennial, too.
But,
But
I'm
yeah,
saying,
but yeah, 'cause I agree with you 100%. When you look at the quality, though, that's still I can't put them because it's not there. It's not the same. It's just not the music is not there. The production's not there. They're in terrible deals, so they're out here marketing themselves to be clowns, to be fucking fools.
and I seen
There's no substance.
I seen the other day somebody was talking junk about Eminem. First of all, Eminem.
Oh, we were gonna talk about.
We
it.
are not doing this
no,
today.
that's-
Wait a minute,
the
I
last
seen,
song.
I seen what? Now I'm gonna see.
Because Marshall Mathers, we will not. I will
Nah,
not.
hold on,
What about it?
hold on.
What about it?
First, somebody said, "Yo, Eminem's not even in my top 15." I said, "What?"
Like how?
How old are they? How old
Yeah,
are
how
they?
old are you at this
How old are
point?
they?
Yeah.
He's 19.
Then okay,
Well, he doesn't
that's
even know
why.
what Eminem is.
That's
That's the
why.
point.
That's the
Yeah.
point.
He
That
never
is the
even heard the
problem.
beginning.
Different
Hi, my
calibers.
name is. He don't even know it.
See, here's the thing. Real quick, I have to. Oh my god, I thought so much about Eminem. Like his pro against. I'm so pro.
I'm pro.
I'm pro.
I cannot say that I am against him in any way. Actually, guys, I am a huge.
I'm a
I have
Eminem fan.
every single one of his albums.
So
I
here's,
bought-
I feel like anybody that's overly emotional about the world or their life and all the struggles and tragedies is the Eminem thing.
So all the
He can make
emo-
different stories
all the people
about
that
his
were
life.
emos
He
at
can make
some
different
point,
stories.
Yeah.
Literally
Every
trap
album.
emos. It's
Trap
the ones that
emos.
would come and like
Yeah.
the ones who weren't like they had the racist family, but they weren't
Right.
really vibing with their racist family, so they broke off and go be friends with their black friends instead and got some sense about them. Yeah.
the thing about Eminem, though, like the whole thing with people saying, "Oh, I don't put him in the top 5. I don't put him in the top whatever." It's like you don't realize like what he's done even culturally. It doesn't.
What
and
he do to
culturally-
beats, like he
Yeah,
can
he's
he do
changed
a
everything.
simple
He's changed a lot of
boom
stuff.
count and then turn it into a dope song.
Right.
He's
So
a lyrical.
y'all
genius,
gonna
too.
fight me because I have every single one of his albums, but I did have this conversation with the love of my life, hey babe, where we talked about the ideology And I do not stand behind this, so my fans do not yell at us. Like, for real, this is not what we're saying. I do not agree with these views, but it was a good conversation. If I were to tell you that Eminem was a plant into the culture, you would probably flip your shit. But think about this.
He's my top 2.
Oh, hands down. Like, hands down, it's like Andre 3000, Eminem, and we don't have to do this right now, guys. But
we're not doing this right now.
We're doing this with some drinks and chilling.
Right.
Yeah, we talk about this.
Definitely not
but we can go down this list because there's so many hip hop artists, rappers who are just phenomenal. And you know, there's a difference between hip hop and rap. But all that to say, when you think about what Eminem does and how he has created such a huge platform for that aggressive battle style rap that to be mainstream, but he's not the first to do it. He's not the first to do it. But what he did was he took it and made it mainstream enough. And he's talking about nothing, not the Rugers and the Shotties. No, he's talking about his drug dealing mama, his cheating baby mama. You know, his daughter, like his
or
like
him fucking a fat chick or something like that.
or some off the wall shit just to make it provocative. But you know, when it comes to the art of provocation, the art of getting people going, there is no king when it comes to Eminem getting the people going, because that whole fuck Trump rap, the whole what was it, Kill Shot? And that's still debated to this day who won, and I don't understand how. But you know what I'm saying is, when you talk about him being a plant into the culture, I'm talking about how he, because of the game changer that he did, opened up so many doors now to people to follow behind him in another light, and we're not as accepting as a culture. Eminem just so happens to have people who knew him that were in the game who vouched for him. We're not vouching for Macklemore. People don't even want to fuck with Post Malone, who had one of the greatest albums of this year. Even if you don't want to agree with it, he had one of the bomb-ass albums. But even Post Malone even talks about how he didn't start out as a rapper. He started rapping because people wouldn't listen to his rock music. Right. So he brought his rock culture, even his band that he auditioned for. It was a very
he switched up his whole everything.
I even think he even tried to play for like Maroon. I don't want to say Maroon 5, but he tried to play for a very popular band now who denied him and went another way. And then he came out with his album a couple of years later. But like, you know, Macklemore, Post Malone. What's that boy's name? The Eminem diss? Machine. Yeah, that guy.
We were just talking about that too. I was like,
Mac Miller.
May he rest in peace. Again, has had the notoriety. So when I say like, because now you have like Lil Pump, you have, like I said, Tekashi, you have, and when you talk about they're still ethnic, what he opened up was a door for people to come in who weren't necessarily like us.
Yeah.
With what we have that validates our art and heart behind what we say and stand and do.
Yeah. So now we're like,
you know, we don't let people into the family cookout.
But
Eminem apparently has like real access to the cookout.
That's what I said. He brought so much to the table, and people don't give him the credit for it because it's a skin tone. And at the end of the day, it's not about your skin tone; it's about what you can bring to hip hop.
So when I say plant into the culture,
I know that's what I'm saying.
I was like,
I would say, I think I feel like the problem is hip hop culture. It's been said a lot of times, but hip hop culture in general is dying when it comes to music.
True.
Everybody want to be a rapper now.
Nobody wants to do hip hop.
It's not more so that it's not that he's not getting. He's not getting the recognition. Yeah. But it's also not. I don't feel like it has a lot to do with like his skin tone, because at the end of the day, hip hop culture was created by African Americans and Latinos. Yeah. To like we talked about I'm just saying. Hip hop culture was to prevent us from killing off each other, off of disputes.
Yeah. And that was like the essential part, because you had people in melting pots who were literally killing each other and dying because of other people. But they had to figure out, so dance became a battle form, became a warfare. Rapping became that, DJing became that, you know, graffiti art became that too, you know, all of that stuff. But I think hip hop is at a really interesting crossroads, because we're seeing more documentation of the origins of this story and of this culture that all of us are actually a part of. And we need more knowledge on that stuff. Right. Yeah. So I think things like this is going to...
I would say breaks that down too for people. Like, that's why I'm glad that show came out too.
Well, I was going to say, and that kind of goes into, for me, that goes into the millennials with the music. Because as like the older millennials, we had inspirations like Common, Nas, Wu-Tang Clan. Like they were doing rap, but they were also part of the hip hop culture. Yeah. We had them as inspirations. Right. And then, but the knowledge somehow, like the knowledge just stopped being passed on.
You know why?
With us, very much so.
This is why
very
people
much
want
so.
that, and that's not what that's about.
Because the knowledge has because the knowledge has stopped being passed on, we like the younger millennials, like say 20 on down, they're more focused on what we get them paid.
The fastest, but it's not their fault because we had Eminem, who was giving us some hidden gems about how to deal with certain things in life. I mean, even that because people don't also want to take the fact when I think of just and how I was brought up in art and introduced first to theater and then into the actual visual art aspect of creating. When you have someone who is doing abstraction verbally, or because there's even dance where you're almost have this interpreter, you can't even necessarily say what it is. We have that it's not going to be perceived in every light. It's going to be scrutinized. It's going to be deemed, deviant, almost defiant, and almost defiant in a way to what like you said, the norms are. And then to think about this as well too, you had artists like Lil Wayne. I mean, God, everybody was a 504 boy. Everybody knew what it was to be a hot boy.
Yeah.
Silk the Shaka, Master P, who was coming in with the bangers, who introduced what it was to be that whole early 2000s, for the 900s, that was all the deep, dirty South.
But one of the people that still don't get no credit is Busta Rhymes. Like this dude,
I don't know. Busta Rhymes.
I feel like Busta Rhymes
still
credit.
got a lot of credit. He got a lot of credit.
But still, like a lot of people don't give him credit for his lyrics. Like what he did for a lot of young guys that
Genesis and everything. Shoot, I was down with Busta Rhymes.
I mean, I guess are you saying more so like verbal credit?
Verbal credit.
Okay, because there's a lot of people like as a choreographer and dancer that I give credit to, just either they haven't came across in conversation in like say an interview or something, or I just have yet to verbally be able to say that they inspired me. Type situation, but you can't deny the credit. You can't regardless if they say it or not, you can't deny the inspiration that someone had, like Busta Rhymes had on certain people. Like you can see it in like certain ways that they perform, certain ways that they dress, certain ways that they flow with their with their lyrics. Like there's like those hidden moments that just shows you where their inspiration really came from. If you have the knowledge of who that person is, like say you have a artist named something, but he has a flow just like Busta. It's like, okay, are you talking about?
Are you okay? Yeah, you can do it. It's fine. No,
This is like the guy with the potato chip.
Like the guy trying to bite the chip. No, we'll talk about it in a second. We're actually finishing up right now. I'm so sorry.
He's like,
we got some bloopers, guys. We got some bloopers.
He's like, here you with the mic. I'm like, oh.
I'm up there.
We needed somebody to pan to the camera just then. So
I wish someone was on the other side.
Yes,
I just want to see somebody else.
Trying to bite the chip, like you don't get caught. But no, you're right. I mean, I think everything that we're saying is so valid just because, like, we have firsthand experience with it. We grew up in it.
Yeah.
Everybody we're mentioning, we can mention because we grew up with it. Like, to talk about it, my dad for a very long time was Nas. My dad for a very long time was Jay-Z. My dad for a very long time, I will have to say, was Lil Wayne. And the crazy thing is, when you're growing up, like I grew up across the street in Hampton Homes when the dad typically isn't there and you're involved in your life, you have these outside influences that kind of shape and mold you to who you are. I will openly admit that growing up as a young woman, I was not the most naive young girl when it came to dating because I grew up around so many dog-eat-dog type men. You know what I mean? Like they not just women though, but also like just hearing things like how men would talk about women who they didn't really like, and I'm not gonna, now that I'm an older woman.
No, you ain't gonna talk to me like that.
You know what I mean? Now I hear it. Growing up, it wasn't, I thought it was okay. I knew it was a problem then. It was just like, I knew that if someone talked to me that way, from the women in my life, I didn't have to deal with it. But I also knew how to identify that when even, because there are men who don't come off that way. Like I just knew how to see them from afar. So it was just one of those things when you look at the influences. So when we talk about the millennials and how they're all screwed, and we talk about our generation, which we are technically still millennials, but there was a gap between us and them. What we had was substance, and I think it just comes back to what we were saying before. They lacked substance. They lack now what we have, which was that ass beating, which is saying, you know, yeah, I'm gonna go out here and rap about hoes and bitches, but when you come in this house, we ain't talking about hoes and bitches, we're talking about ABCs. Where now it's hoes, bitches, and whatever, but it's still hoes and bitches at the end of the day, and that's why, you know.
I would say. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say we're not gonna say. I guess we can't say that all millennials are screwed. We can just say there's a certain aspect that could destroy they could destroy millennials. Yeah. Like artistically wise. Yeah. Because I'm a millennial. I've met plenty of millennials that are younger than me that have the knowledge that and like just have that natural flow with certain things. But
there's some influencers around them too, though.
Right.
Sometimes it's not it, because like naturally I came into dance just because I loved it. I found out like on down the line that my dad, like when his younger days, was a disc jockey, and I never knew that. And and I feel like a lot of stuff can be hereditary. A lot of stuff can just be natural. Because like naturally, me wanting to be an artist, like a visual artist, I had no idea that my dad was a visual artist when he was younger as well. And it's just like something that naturally came to me versus having someone like show me what it was and what to do. So it's like I said, I wouldn't say that all millennials are screwed. It's just like that aspect that could mess up the generation.
Right. No, it's a lot.
Yeah,
I'm glad we
thought for later too.
Definitely. That's going to say. Still going to say this and do it for another podcast. Thank you for coming through again, aka Gypsy, aka LeDarius the One. All right, the one. What? You have the robe on, right? I saw the robe.
I don't even have on the robe.
He said
you had the robe.
Oh.
Anyways, all right.
I guess you tried to call him Morpheus.
But catch us again next time. Find us on SoundCloud, Facebook, and Instagram. And that's all we got for right now. Talk to y'all later. My City Podcast. Peace. Thank you once again for watching another episode of MCC's My City Podcast. We love that you guys are paying attention and listening to everything that we're saying. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. YouTube, My Crew Comics. Instagram, My_Crew_Comics. Facebook, My Crew Comics. Check us out, like us, follow us, add us, subscribe. Check us out. Love y'all. Till next time. Peace.